So they turned the water off in my apartment.
That would explain the water bottles.
So this morning I had to brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. That's what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly. Brush my teeth with the bottle of Jack. And what does she say? They'll kick him to the curb unless they look like Mick Jagger? Does that mean she's into Mick Jagger?
Really? Is that what she says?
And we'll kick him to the curb unless they look like Mick.
I guess.
He's got the moves, apparently.
He does.
Yeah, what a fucking... You know when Maroon 5 played the fucking Super Bowl? And they played moves like Jagger and didn't have Mick Jagger come out? Wasted opportunity.
That is a wasted opportunity. Especially the Super Bowl always has like 10 guys.
Yeah, there's always a fucking guy.
Get
Mick Jagger. That guy'll do it for money. I like money.
Yeah.
Aren't you like 90? Oh, your looks are just... it's just a way. Fuck, he's old. Alright, well, I guess we're fucking...
Let's jump into it. Welcome to Movie LaBuffs.
I'm Todd, and this is Owen, and
hey.
Today we'll be doing The Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man. Men.
Wrath. Oh, man. Oh, what about that fucking show, eh? You remember? Remember when Charlie Sheen left? And then it was just fucking... And then they brought in Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, and Alan Cryer.
John Cryer.
I always say Alan Cryer. Yeah.
But, no, it was funny because the kid left. And then it was just fucking Ashton Kutcher and that guy hanging out.
Speaking of, the kid left because he was religious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was because he was fat.
No. He was fat the whole time. That's his character.
But I thought maybe he was like, I don't want to be a fat kid anymore. Yeah. He's like, I want to get out of the line. Like that kid Beans from Even Stevens.
Why do they only have donuts at craft services?
Yeah, what the fuck is this shit? Donuts and cocaine. Yeah, like that kid Bean from
Beans, from
Even Stevens.
Even Stevens.
Yeah, with that guy.
I'm not sure who you're speaking of, but yeah.
Oh, okay, true. All right, well.
There's some guy in
Yeah. I don't fucking... What's his name? Oh, whatever. I'm sure he's not important.
We may never know.
We'll never know. Anyway. Yeah, he was in Kim Possible.
Was he?
Anyway.
I have no idea what that's a reference to.
That was a little kind of like the sisters in the show, and she's in. All right.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember who the girl was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a reach there.
Hell yeah! So this week we watched Wrath of Man, which was written and directed by
the Guy Ritchie.
It stars Jason Statham, Holt McCallany, and Josh Hartnett. Actually, I want to mention Holt McCallany. We saw him recently. He was in Greenland as well. He was the pilot. Yeah.
That was him, right?
This guy plays Bullet in this movie. Yeah, he was the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Mindhunters.
Who they kill, basically.
Yeah,
the guy from Mindhunters.
Yeah. He's jacked in this, by the way. I was like, looks like he's in good shape for an old guy.
And he has the coolest name.
Bullet.
Can you hear the sarcasm in my voice? That's one thing about this movie. Like,
I'm gonna call him Bullet.
Why do they have all these names?
I think it's because they work for like. I think it's their line of work, and they have to have cool cool guy names. Like
what are these cool guys?
Like Blade and
Boy
Laser.
Sweat Dave. That's Josh Hartnett's character.
Yeah, what's his name again?
Boy Sweat Dave.
Like, I understand what he's trying to...
The first thing that I was confused by.
I feel like he's trying to recapture some of that,
You know what? If it
classic,
was... That's my point. Like the classic Guy Ritchie thing.
Yeah.
Like this guy's Five Finger Freddy or whatever.
Yeah, this guy's name is Turkish, right? His name,
But those are cooler names than fucking Bullet.
Bullet.
Or Boy Sweat Dave.
Boy Sweat Dave.
Yeah, or like what does that even mean? I couldn't figure out what that means. What does that mean?
They never explain it. They never use Boy Sweat Dave.
I don't get it at all. It sounded creepy to me at first. I was like...
And what was Statham's name?
Statham was H.
Just H.
Yeah, just H. Which is also dumb, because he's trying to pose as like he doesn't want to show his identity, so he has this like fake. So why don't you call yourself like Bill McKenzie or some shit? So let's talk about Guy Ritchie a little bit. This is his.
Let's talk about Guy Ritchie. Okay, never mind.
What was that?
You know, like that. Let's talk about. Yeah, right. Never mind.
Okay, so we've seen many of Guy Ritchie's movies, as a lot of people have.
Holy shit! Did he write the screenplay for Aladdin?
I think he directed Aladdin too. But...
No way!
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. That's kind of a weird
he
choice.
directed Aladdin. Yeah, it's studio movies. Like he did Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah. Those were like the first one was all right.
They were okay.
I had never watched the second one. I was like, "There's no way."
I saw them both. Yeah,
the second one was
I don't think the second one was good, but
how could it be?
I don't remember a single thing about it except for Robert Downey Jr. jumping into a waterfall, which seemed really unrealistic, and that's probably why I remember it, because it was really stupid. But
the key things stand out, yes.
So of course we know the famous like Guy Ritchie movies: Lock, Stock, Smoke and Barrels, Snatch, Rock and Roll. What else is there? Recently he did The Gentleman,
which isn't terrible.
Yeah, so that was like his first kind of comeback to his regular style,
more gangster stuff
in a long time. Yeah, that seemed like a
gangster shit.
This movie,
kind of gangster shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't really. It didn't really have Guy Ritchie's style.
No, it did not. If I had to watch this without knowing it was him, I wouldn't have known it was him.
That's true. So when I was watching the intro, because you have that in your mind, you're expecting like Guy Ritchie stuff to happen. The intro to me felt like a Nolan movie.
It felt like a Bond movie.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. So they had that cinematic intro thing, but I mean, like right after that, like the first scene when they're in the truck and it's the one camera and the.
Oh yeah, and it kind of like in reminiscence of like The Dark Knight, right? Where it's like it's just kind of like just the way it's shot and everything,
and the music, the score, it was very like repetitive, really good. I really liked the score. It was done by Christopher Benstad, I think his name is.
Oh, cool.
Who worked with him on The Gentleman. He also did the score for Gravity.
Oh, well, fuck.
And also the movie Shrooms.
Yo, tight.
Do you remember that movie?
Yes. That's the horror one, right?
Yeah, the shitty horror movie where they do shrooms
awful.
And go crazy.
But yeah, as far as this one goes, like, I mean, we'll get into like what it's about a bit later and like, you know, but like, I thought it had a lot of elements of like other movies in it. Like just like it had a little bit of like buddy cop movie. It had a little bit of like a gangster flick, and it also had like a little bit of a heist in it. And then it had this. It had like it was literally kind of like when we were discussing that last movie, the zombie one. I'm already fucking forgetting what it's called.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, right? Where I was just like, how much genres can we squeeze into one?
But
right?
This does it way better.
This does it 100 times way better.
Even though there's many of those genres in there, it all seems to facilitate the story, right? Whereas like Army of the Dead, not really.
It's just like zombies, who cares?
But yeah, that all worked, which was good. I thought there was a lot that worked at this movie, but
at the beginning when he's like Statham's first joining the crew, and they're like, "Hey, buddy," like, and they're telling like the cop jokes, so like, "You better watch my ass out there," but like, oh, and they're just like ripping on each other. When that started, I was like, "Okay, this might be shit, and this movie might be bad."
That's the thing. It totally starts that way, even with the first scene. Which is like kind of actually, I really like it when you think about the first scene later in the movie, because
it makes more sense.
Then you know what happened.
Yeah.
But I was thinking at that time that okay, this is just gonna be a dumb fucking heist thing.
It's just gonna be another Statham movie, is what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, even if you have Guy Ritchie's name on it, I thought it was gonna be like, because Statham's also guilty of like that guy will put out like 100 movies. That guy's
that's true.
He'll do anything.
But he hasn't worked with Guy Ritchie in a while, so. I was kind of encouraged by that a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Because he gets the good Statham. Like, that's the good Statham that I like. Like, the more of the actor Statham, not the action star Statham. Because I feel he could be a good actor.
Yeah, but is he an actor in this movie?
It's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column V, right?
Yeah, he doesn't say much in this movie.
But he has a purpose. And
that's his character.
Yeah, that is his character, though, right? Essentially. Yeah. But there's a purpose for everything. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, that is one other thing you're saying. Like, there's a purpose for everything. One thing that I really liked about this movie is that all of the action kind of facilitated the plot as well.
Yep.
So it didn't really seem like it was pointless. Just throwing action in there for action's sake.
Yeah, and it helped things move along.
Yeah.
Like there was a reason for it. It wasn't just there because it was like, you know, and the action wasn't completely over the top.
No.
It was more
everything that happened in the action scene like made sense and led to something. Like every moment. Whereas like movies like, you know, John Wick, you can have a 10-minute action scenes with just a bunch of shooting a bunch of guys. In that 10 minutes, only one thing is really being accomplished.
Yeah.
He's getting through those 10 guys. Whereas this is like moving forward each step in the scene. Like, he did this,
really
so
cool,
he can do that, and blah, blah, blah. Which is how action movies should be. And that's why I don't like action movies generally, because I get incredibly bored when there's just action going on screen for no reason, right?
Like those crappy Fast and Furious movies.
Well, Statham is in one of those.
Oh God, he's in he's a part of that too.
He's Shaw.
And Hobbs and Shaw.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh, I don't know why I blanked on that. I was like, oh yeah, he's in that. But that's what I'm saying. He's in fucking everything anyway. But no, I fully agree with what you just said. Senseless violence is like that's the shit like Tarantino always makes fun of, right? Like it's over the top shit. It's like it's kind of like a mockery of like. You don't have to do it like this, right? Like, you can, but you don't have to, right? But yeah, did you like Statham's character? What'd you think?
I did and I didn't.
Okay.
I like the idea of the character and what he's doing is kind of cool. Like how he's, he's infiltrated this seemingly small place to work. Like he's a security guard, and that to get revenge. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And just the clever things he says. I will say at the beginning and the first half of the movie, because I think his character kind of falters in the end. But we'll get into that when we talk about the plot later. But for the most part, yes. But I didn't really like that he was incredibly silent the whole movie and kind of one tone. Like,
yeah, it was very just like.
But it wasn't bad. I think that critics will say he's bad.
I don't think it was terrible.
Yeah.
I think it was his character. That's what his character was. It was just that guy, right?
Which works for this movie, you'd say.
I think it does. Yeah, I think it adds to it.
Did you like Statham?
I'm just gonna pretty much on the same boat as you. Like, I feel that like he was good enough. Like, do I think it's like Golden Globe worthy? No, but like it was. He was there. Like there was a reason.
You know what you're gonna get with Statham, especially in an action movie, right?
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're expecting an Oscar-worthy performance or anything from him.
Yeah,
but he's good. Like, I will say that
he's good. He makes the movie.
For a hustler from the street. He's good.
He's pretty good.
Speaking of British, this movie was American. Like, shot in the
United States.
Well, it takes place in the States, yeah. I read some of it was shot in the UK, but it takes place in the States. Did they say what city?
No, they didn't.
I don't think they do, right? Yeah.
They never mention where it is.
And was that one thing you were thinking too? I was thinking.
I thought it was in Boston for some reason.
Okay.
But I was also thinking of the town for some reason. I don't know why that popped in my head when I was watching. Bank robberies. Kind of the same.
But one thing that I was... it kind of seemed like almost like a fictional place. And also one...
Gotham.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or whatever. Like a no-name city. Like John Wick, for example.
Yeah.
That's not a real city, right?
Is it? I thought it was New York.
Maybe I'm... Yeah,
or Los Angeles or some shit. I can't remember.
But either way, there's movies like that, right?
Yeah, they make up fake cities.
Random cities.
It's like Sin City.
Just because they don't want to say that, like, this is a specific... So that was something I was confused about. Not really confused, but I was thinking about it. And then the other thing was that, like, all of these fucking heists are happening with these trucks, bank trucks. Everyone's robbing these bank trucks, which is the key fucking plot of the movie. So I was like, does this happen a lot? Like, is this...
Yo, that's exactly what I fucking thought. I was sitting there, I was like, is anyone doing this? Or is this just completely fictional, right?
Because they're telling, like, the new people, like, be careful, every day you're gonna get robbed. And I was thinking, like, do these trucks get robbed, like, daily?
Well, remember at the beginning, like when he's signing up with them, they have to be like trained. He's like, you have to be, and that's kind of when you first realize that something's askew. When he kind of just doesn't look and he starts shooting off in the distance, and you're just like, and they're like, he's pretty shit, and you're just sitting there like, all right, obviously.
He gets like right above passing.
Yeah, and they're like, I guess you're good enough to roll with us, and he's like, oh, thank you, and then you're sitting there, you're like, you're just like, something's gonna go down, and he's gonna fuck shit up.
But that's one thing. Why would he get right above the passing grade? You know, why would you put so much effort to just get above the passing grade when he could get perfect? Why don't you just get fucking a little bit less than perfect? It seems like too much effort to look mundane or whatever.
Yeah, I know, exactly, because you have to try to not try to...
Yeah, like it would be still difficult to... But I guess they're showing like he can do anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're already setting up at that point. It was like, I was looking at it, I was like,
Which is another semi-unrealistic thing. It's like that John Wick thing. It's like, this guy's just like, he can fucking shoot anything. He's the master of fucking...
Oh, yeah. Marksman.
Like, yeah, like, it seems a little unrealistic. He's that and the boss of this crime conglomerate thing. It's kind of like, I don't think it works that way in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But, hey, it's not a real world anyway, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I was excited that Post Malone was in.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
That fucking sucked.
I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And I looked it up. I was like, oh, it was Post Malone.
You know, I don't know. That kind of pisses me off so much. This happened so much, like, even recently, because Cardi B was in that other movie.
Hustlers.
Yeah, Cardi B was in Hustlers, right? And it's that thing where it's like, this rapper or whoever is...
Well, Cardi B was actually a stripper before, as someone you brought to my attention after. But maybe Post Malone was also a bank robber before he became... He's from Texas bank robbing? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, actually, not to... I'm going to rip on Post Malone here, but I actually genuinely think he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
In all of his interviews,
I think he seems like
a
shit.
A stand-up dude.
Yeah. I like the idea of these like soft little white guys playing like gangster guys. Like he's in there.
But he's got face tattoos, Todd. So you know he's hard.
Yo, I see fucking... I mean... No. No, he's not.
But anyway, what I was going to say about that is that these rappers or whoever, musicians or whoever, are like to their agents, you know, they have...
Yo, get me in that movie.
I want to be in a movie. So the agents are calling every fucking movie to be like, can you please put my rapper in a movie? He'll only do 2 lines. And they're like, all right.
Can Riff Raff be in Frozen too? Hey, almost him.
Yeah, you should do the music for that, or at least the song.
It's Frozen. Yeah, there you go. Write the song.
It's cold as hell.
It's cold as hell. Put your jacket on. Yeah, he can do it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. If you're listening, Riff Raff.
But yeah, so Post Malone in that, yeah, he has 2 lines. He fucking whatever.
Yeah. What does he say to him? And he's like talk, and he's like, I ain't saying shit, man.
Yeah. Suck my dick or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Like something gangster. Like
and it's super lame and it's super...
I feel like if the situation was real, he'd be like crying, like, oh man, fuck man.
Yeah.
Oh, don't kill me, man.
I don't know how I got into this.
Man, I was going to make country music and then I decided to make hip hop instead. Which is actually a true thing, actually. He was going to be a country artist. He's like, nah, there's more money in hip hop. That to me there.
Yeah.
Automatically destroys your street cred in any form.
Oh, dude, that's how people make music these days. Like,
what do I want to do?
Like the fucking, I can't remember his name, but the guy that had the biggest fucking album of the year last year just saw exactly what Ed Sheeran was doing and just made that. And it's the first music he's ever like released, and it's the biggest album in the world because he just like was like, I can sing, right? I have a guitar, and he just did the same shit.
He just copied someone else.
Yeah, because it's successful, and that's how you do it. You fucking put it all on SoundCloud or YouTube, whatever.
SoundCloud.
Yeah. Well, that's how Post Malone came from SoundCloud, right?
Oh, he didn't come from Pure Volume.
He was a SoundCloud rapper.
SoundCloud rapper? Is that where he actually came from?
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Pure Volume, remember that one?
No. Like the name, but...
Yeah. That was ooh, that's a shitty one.
Alright, so... We kind of mentioned that we... Did you like it? I should just...
Yeah. You're just coming straight out and asking me, eh? Instead of beating around the bush, eh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we already mentioned a few things that we liked, but generally, did you
Generally,
like
I did like it.
Yeah.
I found that the plot was... It was well written. Like, it was, like, it made sense. And, like...
I thought so, too.
And it was, like, we'll get into the spoilers a bit later, but the direction that it ends up taking, I was like, Oh, that was my one gripe that I had with the movie that we'll get into later.
Okay.
But overall, I liked it. A little unrealistic, but also ultimately like decent watch. Would I recommend going to see it in theaters? Sure.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend.
I recommend going to see it in theaters. It's a good popcorn watch.
So the main thing I liked about this movie is that it's kind of like an original movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this world of remakes and reboots and you know, yeah, whatever, like comic book movies that exists already and shit like that. So that's always refreshing.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want especially in theaters, because it's so rare that original movie goes in theaters. And this is kind of like that. This is like, oh, Guy Ritchie making an original movie. Even though, and I don't even know you know this or not, but it is a remake of a French movie.
Tabarnak. Yeah, it has that fucking feel, of like a French like heist twist movie. Like
it totally does.
It does. Now that you mention
Yes.
it kind of fucking does.
Yeah, it does.
Like what's that one that's on Netflix? The heist one, Lupin.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Lupin.
What is it? Oh, it's called Cash Truck.
Yeah, Cash Truck.
Sure.
The Cash Truck.
But yeah, anyway, so technically I guess it's not, and I don't know how different it is. It's probably very different. It's inspired by it.
Yeah, because usually the Americanized versions of the French movies are never as good.
Yeah.
Like Taxi or Burn After Reading and stuff. Like
there's this other one that I watched that was Burn After Reading.
Yeah, it's based on a French movie.
I know, but it's one of my favorite
Oh,
movies
it's good.
of all
Don't get me
time.
wrong, but the original's really good too. They made us watch it in high school. I thought it was better.
I should watch it. You thought it
Yeah,
was
it's good.
better.
You can watch it
Man,
with you can
Burn
watch it
After
with
Reading
subtitles.
is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's
ever.
good. It's fucking really good. Also, Taxi. If you haven't seen Taxi, a lot of people have only seen like the Jimmy Fallon one. If you want to know, yeah, I know, fucking shit movie. Like a fun fact, if you want to know where like Fast and the Furious and all these fucking movies are from, it's from that movie. It's from Taxi. Like that inspired all those movies. Like,
what about like what's the one the British movie with the minis?
Oh, the Italian.
Italian Job.
That's American, isn't it?
Well, that's a remake of the
that's
the British
movie.
Like,
You're right. Yeah.
John Cleese, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Statham's in that fucking too. The remake.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it was because Statham was a stuntman, right? Originally.
Yeah.
Like, he started out as a stuntman, and then he did the Guy Ritchie movies, and then I think after that, an Italian Job, he does the stunt driving apparently, or something like that. Something to that.
Yeah, Statham he was also an Olympic swimmer.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's got an interesting.
Yeah, that guy seems like a fucking he seems like the Dos Equis guy, you know?
He does everything.
Like he's just like an interesting guy, you know? Like,
yeah, but the story is, and it's a true story, but yeah, so he was an Olympic swimmer and a model, and then he was a fucking like hustler on the streets, right? Like he
was a chaff, or what do they call him?
Yeah. He sold like illegal, like jewelry and pawned like.
Yo,
what am I trying to say?
That's so chill. He's like a thug.
And Guy Ritchie had heard of him and knew a mutual friend and hired him for Lock, Stock to play himself, basically.
Really? He's a hustler.
He's like the hustler, whatever, on the street in Lock, Stock. So, and that's the first movie he's ever acted in.
Really? I thought it's because he was a stuntman before.
No, I think he did some of that, but his first thing was just.
Oh, I didn't know he was a fucking street thug. That's cool.
He was an Olympic diver.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking G.
What a weird. I'll show you after, and for the listeners, you should look this up too. He's in some music videos from the 90s that are just fucking hilarious because it's like he's in like these
Blur videos.
No, he's in like these like drum and bass and like techno videos where he's like in a like leopard print underwear, like dancing, like it's really weird videos, right?
Really?
Yeah, I gotta show you.
Okay, I definitely gotta check these out.
But yeah, look them up. Where we were both saying we liked it. Yeah.
What would you score it?
I scored it at a 7.
Really? I would go 7.5.
Okay. Yeah.
I was leaning towards 8, but I'm gonna go 7.5.
I didn't like the ending, and
I fully agree with you. Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But there was a few things that kind of just didn't hit the mark. But generally, I was incredibly surprised and delighted by, like, this movie. It was a lot better than I thought.
I did not think I was going to enjoy it as much, but then again, that's kind of always what happens with me. I always end up watching these, and I'm like, that's not entirely true. I really did not like that Bruce Willis movie or Greenland. But
yeah, and for me, like I tend to not like these types of movies, so that's another thing. I was just like,
but yeah, I would definitely recommend, like, you know, now the theaters are open, like if you're going, go check it out. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a good like date night movie, whatever.
It's a good theater movie.
Movies. Yeah, because it's got a good plot and stuff, and I would say theater worthy.
Speaking of plot, let's get into that. So,
but yeah, I mean, like if you're still listening right now, we're gonna kind of go into spoilers, and if you want to hear them, keep listening, and if you don't, come on back and listen to us talk about the movie. But anyway,
yeah, spoilers starting now.
Yeah, so, okay, anyway, so essentially the whole plot is, like, as like you may or may not already know, is Statham joins up with this Brinks-style security team of guys, and, like, he clearly has a hidden agenda. Like, you can obviously...
Cash trucks, which, like, take money from businesses to the bank, whatever that you see. I don't know if they're called Brinks in the States, that's why I wanted to mention that.
No, they're called Brinks.
Yeah. So, actually, real quick, because I was thinking about it, but one thing I know about Brinks, because... You know, they're common.
Oh, you know Brinks.
You see them
know Brinks, okay.
You see them around, but, like, they always have shotguns, right? Like, you can see the shotguns.
Really? I never see that.
Yeah, you know? Like, they open the truck, if they come out, you can see a shotgun. But that was the one thing I was like, why do they have little fucking guns in this movie? Why don't they have shotguns? Anyway.
So Statham, clearly has a hidden agenda. And there's a bunch of heists going around, and like these trucks are getting broken into. One gets broken into. Statham obviously goes full Statham on the guys and fucking murks motherfuckers like it's his day job.
Well, the movie starts with two guys in the Brinks truck or whatever it is, in the cash truck, getting robbed, and one guy is shot and dies. So then Statham joins as a new recruit to this working security for the Brinks trucks, and he's kind of mysterious.
Why is he here, right? Like,
and then while they're getting robbed, like you said, he expertly shoots all the robbers in the head. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, who is this guy?
Yeah, so all the guys around the office are like, yo, this guy's fucking, like, he's something crazy or whatever.
Sick,
yeah, they're all like, he's like this crazy guy. And Josh Hartnett's character's like, remember he does that cliche thing? He's like, just don't get in my way out there. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
His character kind of sucked.
What was his nickname again? I can't remember.
Boy Sweat Dave.
Boy Sweat Dave. Boy Sweat Dave.
Yeah, his character kind of sucked. I felt like it would be good if they used him more, but they didn't use him enough to be... Sweat. Yeah, like he didn't like change and develop that much to like, because he was the asshole at the beginning, so you kind of imagine that he's gonna become Jason Statham's best friend by the end because he starts as the asshole, but he doesn't really.
Not really.
He tries to do something at the end, but he fails, and it's like, what's the point of that?
Because his boy Sweat.
I guess I still don't know what it means, but maybe it means something very specific that would make his actions make a lot more sense that I just can't see.
Man. But okay, yeah. So you then find out that Statham's son, during the original bank robbery, Statham is a part of organized crime organization. I believe he's the boss, the Don, the head cheese, the head honcho, if you will. Yes, Jinx. And then upon staking out the truck for a job, it gets robbed, and his son's with him, and his son's murdered, obviously, by the guys who are robbing the truck. And so Statham...
Which is a flashback.
Yeah.
And it's like 5 months earlier we see his kid.
There's a lot of back and forth, like 5 months, 2 months, 3 months. So, you know. But yeah, and then so he's essentially in this, has taken this job just to find the guys, because he goes through the whole underground with his crew. He's torturing people. He's killing people to try and find out who these guys were who killed his kid, who were pulling this job.
Yeah, because he works with people that rob these trucks. So he knows
everybody.
Yeah, he knows he's gonna know the people who did this job.
But he can't fucking find them.
But he can't figure it out.
He can't figure out who it is. So that's his last step, is he makes false documents and he goes into undercover in there to try and get revenge.
He finds out that it's an inside job.
Yes, and because that's what the guy says. He's like, it's gotta be an inside job.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the villains, or the conflict, if you will.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I like how they appear more than halfway, or at least
they're at least close
through,
to the end,
and then it kind of switches in that we have a lot of focus on them, and I really like that switch.
Yeah, so they're a bunch of
it's like Tarantino-esque. Like it has the chapters, and then all of a sudden there's a new chapter and you're focused on different people.
But that's what I was saying at the beginning about how this movie just incorporates like a bunch of different stuff from different movies. Then I was watching and I was like, I feel like I just watched like 11 different types of movies in one shot, which I kind of did like to an extent. Sometimes I felt it to be a little like, okay, it's a little too much.
Right.
But yeah, so these are essentially, these guys are essentially,
they're
army vets.
Yeah. So they're all
Special force guys.
They're all from the same
unit? Yeah.
And even the boss guy, they call him Sarge.
The Sarge, obviously.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Donovan plays Sarge.
Yes.
And
Scott Eastwood
plays Jan, who's like the loose cannon of the group or
you
whatever.
can kind of like,
and he's the one that's gonna fuck shit up, sort of. But so my main gripe with the whole army guy thing, so they decide, so we kind of get their backstory a bit, and there's a little montage of them becoming a little crime group or whatever. They become robbers.
It shows you how they got to the point where they
committed
the murder, right?
They're like, oh, we're retired from the army. We have nothing to do.
They have no
money. We don't have that much money. What should we do? And the one guy's like, man, I miss killing people in the army. And it's like, all right, let's do shit like that. So we have this little montage of them doing like a whole bunch of stuff, bigger and bigger jobs until they do these cash truck jobs. So my main...
Oh, and they always mention that there's an inside guy. They're like, we need a man on the inside. Yeah. Every job has an inside guy, right?
So my main gripe with that whole thing is like, how do you have 6, army guys that were in the same unit that all want to be criminals? And the other thing is like, they're not anti-military. They're not like, we want to get back at the army they're all kind of like pro-military. They're like, we loved the army.
Yeah.
And now
we're taking from, I don't know. Yeah. It's
now they just want to be like, they just want to be gangsters. And it's kind of like a weird,
I think they had to write it in because it was like,
there were a group of friends, this group of friends all want to be criminals together. That's what I don't really understand. Like I was thinking about The Rock, the Michael Bay movie.
Oh yeah, because I was trying to think of other scenarios where this is like other movies, because this has been done before.
So Ed Harris in that movie, he is like a lieutenant or some shit.
He's general or something.
And like the army has treated him and other people in his division poorly, like they fucked them over or whatever.
That's why they want a new
So
San Fran.
He wants to get back at USA for that reason, and that's a good motivation. Yeah, this group in this movie doesn't really have that.
I mean, you could make the argument that money is their motivation.
It is, yes,
but at the same time, it does seem very like. I mean, not to say that
they're still like. Like they're killing people. They're doing all this, like, I guess...
Actually, to be fair, only the one guy's doing the killing.
That's true.
And that kind of just happens. That wasn't supposed to happen. Because, he ends up killing that guy. One of the bank drivers, the guy who dies at the beginning, right? And obviously Statham's son, he ends up killing him too, because he sees his face, right?
Yeah.
And then he has no choice and he just kills him. But he seems to have no remorse for it. He's clearly the bad guy.
Yeah.
And you get a glimpse of his eyes at the beginning, like at one scene when
Statham... he's got a scar.
Yeah. You classic bad guy, like.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has to have a scar or something. Okay, so then moving on from that,
they decide what the bank. Okay, yeah. Then the guy's like, one more big job. They decide they're gonna rob the fucking the depot where they keep all the money. Where all the trucks
it's Black Friday.
Yeah, it's Black Friday. That's right. Yeah,
and there's like $200 million or some shit.
And then that's when you find out. There's a rat the whole time in the movie. There's a fucking rat. Like, also a little bit of like other movie, like who's the rat? Statham's trying to find him, and like, who did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was the guy at the beginning, sort of a really minor character. In the pool hall where the guy's like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And he's like, I'll buy you a drink to leave me alone.
That's good. I didn't think it was that guy. I actually kind of thought...
Wouldn't that have been better?
I thought it was the guy... Well, no. The guy who was like... I had a feeling they were setting that up. I thought it was that guy for a split second. I was like, no, it's too obvious. And then I thought Hartnett for a second, and I was like...
But that to me was too obvious.
Yeah, that to me also...
the asshole at the beginning?
Yeah, just like, don't get in my way. Don't get in my way.
So who it turns out to be is...
Bullet.
and that was kind of lame, especially how they did it, where he's like driving to there, he's like, oh, by the way,
I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, they're just driving out, and Statham obviously already knows that he's the bad guy at this point, because I think he's figured it out No, he hasn't. No, that's right.
No, he hasn't, which is really dumb. How does he not know his like partner is the bad guy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like your classic cop movie. So there's some double cross action here, and just when you think the double cross,
and also like, why the fuck? So far, Bullet, this fucking Bullet guy, is Statham's partner. He's been on every job Statham's been on. He's seen Statham fucking
murk people.
Yeah, like he knows Statham's like not who he's fucking. He knows he's
not
some
to
sort
be
of,
fucked with. Yeah.
And then he tells him he's the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Like, why would you do that? On the way to the job, he tells him.
He's like, really?
Like, give me your gun, because I'm gonna rob everyone. Just so you know, it's like. You wouldn't tell this fucking expert to murder.
Yeah, like you know what he's capable of, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, this guy could cause some problems, but you know what? I'm gonna let this slide. But yeah, so he ends up being the inside guy, and I was like, okay. I was like, that was a little obvious. That's why I didn't think it was gonna be him, because I was like, there's no way. Yeah, and then
to the point where when you find out, you're like, that's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, they break into the thing. They're wearing, like, that heavy body armor. And everyone's shooting at them.
Uh-huh.
That scene was pretty cool. They're having the huge shootout in there. And then, like, all the security guards on the inside start shooting out with those guys. And
that's a good example of what I was saying, where the action moves forward. Because, and I can't remember specifics exactly, but everything that they do in those scenes is like, okay,
we're getting the money. We're getting the security system.
We need to do this to break through this.
That was a really cool scene. It goes on
that.
for about 20 minutes of just like from them breaking in and taking everything and like shooting it out with the other people. And like there's that one guy, they're like, okay, we're just gonna take the money, we're gonna get out. And the other guy's like, I'm gonna be a fucking hero, and he runs out and starts shooting at them.
What Dave, when he gets shot,
yeah. Josh Hartnett,
he gets up again and tries again.
Yeah.
So in this scene actually is where my biggest gripes come in, is with Jason Statham's character. Is he like makes so many mistakes in this scene that don't make any sense. Like he gets shot because he turns a corner and just gets shot. It's like, why is this guy that's supposed to be this fucking expert on, whatever, is just blindly turning a corner and gets shot by a guy that's standing in the hallway, right?
Maybe those emotions get the better of him. Because he knew.
Maybe.
He knew that those were the guys.
If that's the case, then they should have kind of like played that up a little. But it doesn't seem like the character doesn't seem he's possible of letting his emotions get the better of him. Like when he's earlier talking to his wife, and his wife's like, our son's died and you can't even show me any emotion. Like she literally says that. And he just says nothing. Like he's a stone cold fucking guy. So that doesn't really make any sense.
Huh.
To me. Yeah. There's a few things that he like just makes mistakes in this.
It's out of character.
Yeah. Completely. Like he can shoot everyone in the fucking head in every other scene from a mile away.
But he can't do it now. So it's always like, don't write it like that if that's not the way that you plan on taking it, right?
Like I wanted to see...
you have to humanize people, right? Like you can't make them these fucking...
I wanted to see a really clever way that Jason Statham's character is going to take each individual out.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And they don't do
us
that.
No.
But the whole movie kind of sets that up, doesn't it? Because he's a planner.
It's funny that you thought it was going to go that way. It would have been better I think it would have been better that way instead of going the way that it actually went, where it turned into one of those classic...
He's just in the middle of the action.
Yeah, but like how it ends up ending is like how it ends in the classic way of like, this guy fucks this guy over, fucks this guy over, fucks, like, you know how they all kill each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to...
Which was kind of lame too. And
I didn't like that. I hated that.
That goes back to the whole like, I don't really get this group of guys because they're these like bonded brothers thing, and they're gonna screw each other over like that and kill.
Well,
each
I
other
guess
for
you
the
could
money.
I guess you could make the argument that Clint Eastwood's not Clint Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son's character.
Yeah, Scott Eastwood.
Jan. You can make the argument that he's really the fucked up one, and because he's the one who kills.
Yeah, but Bullet also is going to kill him.
He's going to kill him, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like in The Dark Knight when like all the Joker guys are killing each other off, like at the beginning in that opening scene. Yeah, it's kind of like reminded me of that. Really,
that's true.
And it was like very over the top like that. Like they're going through they're escaping in a truck and like.
But which is very convenient as well. Like I don't know how these guys have this master escape route where they go into a warehouse and these pillars come up. It just so happens to have this. Undocumented underground tunnels.
Yeah, because even
very like, how do these people know this?
Yeah, right. Like
maybe if their history was like the SWAT team and they knew the fucking they knew the layout of the city, I guess, because that's.
I mean, maybe they did do that. Who knows?
Maybe, but it wasn't implied. But yeah.
Yeah, but like it seems far-fetched. It seems
beef up the script a little if you add something like that.
Yeah, it's like, look how cool this looks.
Like, I would like to know why they knew about that fucking secret warehouse, like, fucking...
Because the cops figure it out. The cops like, they probably went this way, like...
But the cops don't know about the underground tunnels.
Oh,
because it's not on any blueprints.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do these guys know that? That's what I'm asking.
That doesn't make any fucking sense then.
But yeah, so then, yeah, I guess it's just like Jan and Bullet left, and then at this point, Statham's is still in the fucking...
Statham got shot and he's out of the equation. You think he's dead, kind of.
Yeah, but he looks at the guy in the eyes as he's leaving, so they know he's alive.
Yeah.
They kind of leave him alive, sort of, because he's looking through a window or whatever. But anyway, so they kind of escape.
The guys all kill each other off.
Yeah, Jan fucking kills everyone, basically, and he takes all the money for himself, and he goes back to his lavish apartment with, like, all the money.
And that motorcycle in there.
Yeah, I'm drinking some mezcal.
Yeah.
But...
It looks like a cool place. I saw it, I was like, man, I wish that was my apartment.
So this is my other thing that I really hated.
The Mark Wahlberg style ending.
Yeah, it was incredibly anticlimactic that Jason Statham just sitting on a chair there waiting for him, I thought. And then just shoots him.
But no, but remember how he shot him in the exact same way that he shot his son?
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cheesy.
Was something, I guess.
I mean, I thought it was cheesy because because the whole movie's broken up into, like, I think 4 or 5 parts, and every part is like a title. It's like the becoming, or like the heart, the lungs, the liver, and that was the last one. The heart, the lung, the liver.
Cool. Yeah.
And he's like the heart, the lung, and that's where he shoots him, the heart, and the lung, and the liver.
Oh,
that's where he shot his kid, right?
Right.
So that was okay, but it was kind of like, like, is that necessary?
Well, so this is another thing where this is where I wanted something clever to happen. Like, I wanted Jason Statham's character to win in a clever way. Get this guy in a clever way, not just sitting in his apartment.
Waiting.
Yeah, like that's like this whole movie is an entire lead up to how he's gonna get this guy. He's infiltrating everything, and
it ends up being a very lackluster.
Like, they don't show how he. Like, it would make more sense to show how he knew about the guy's apartment, because the whole movie is about him doing espionage and learning about.
Yeah,
these
but
people.
I think by that point, though, when, like, after the whole thing, like the whole, like, they robbed or whatever, at that point Statham knows who he is, and he's this huge underground crime guy, so he's gonna fucking find him, right?
Yeah.
Like, so there's no way, like, so that guy's fucked at that point, because, like, there's no way, because you see, like, in the movie, like, Statham's, like, torturing the fuck out of people, like, he's killing all these people trying to find out who killed his kid, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like all these obscure people, like, he's breaking into people's houses and, like,
but wouldn't it be like even better if, like, say that guy Jan, he had, like, he was going to use that money for something, and then he goes to the guy he's going to pay or something, and like, he opens the door and it's Jason Statham.
Well,
like,
other thing out of character is that Jason Statham wants revenge so bad, and he's a mob guy, and he's a huge boss, like a boss guy. Do you think he's going to shoot him 3 times? No, they're going to drag that guy into, like, a fucking warehouse, and they're going to torture him for, like, 5-6 days.
Questions.
Yeah, because like, that's usually what they do. They don't kill people, right? Because that's obviously what the person wants. Like,
true.
That's usually, like, I would imagine that's how they go down. It would go down, right? Because like, torture all those other people.
Yeah.
So that guy, technically, if you think about it, he got off easy.
Yeah.
And he was the bad guy. Like, the other people didn't do anything.
That's true. Yeah, they weren't involved.
But they weren't involved in any of it. So that's kind of fucked up when you think about it. Like, he was ripping that guy.
I was thinking that, like, this is our protagonist and he's doing all these, like, torture stuff, was kind of, like, not great. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was really fucked up.
But they also, like, try to, like, make us like him and think that he's a good guy, because, like, he goes to one place and there's, like, sex trafficked women there.
Oh, yeah.
And he gives them, like, he basically kills all the people that are trafficking them.
Yeah, all the brothers.
And takes their, like, 20 million or something, or 2 million, and gives it to the girls and lets them
get the fuck out.
So that's one of those moments that they're trying to It's called the save the cat moment.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like...
Well, no, what happens is, remember, the brothers are in there and they find out that, like, these guys didn't do it. Like, they're like, for sure. And the one guy's still alive. And he's like, I told you we didn't. And they're like, then he knows, he's like, oh, you traffic. He's like, how old are these women? They're like, not old enough. Then he kills the guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, fuck it, I'll kill him anyway.
Exactly. So they put that in there to make us like him more.
Yeah, make him more likable. Yeah, and I agree. It did make him more likable for me.
It does. It makes you think, like, oh, he's actually a good guy.
Because you don't even really know the son, and that's kind of an element that's given to you halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So there's no reason
Giving
for you to be
him a
attached.
son, too, is kind of a safe
humanizes
thing.
him.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, the thing is that you don't really know you don't know the kid or anything, and you're kind of just like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make the story seem like the revenge thing seem like enough.
You didn't think that you didn't care as much because you didn't know.
Yeah, like, I was kind of like, I get it. Like, I understand what this is all about kind of thing, but it's not like...
Yeah, to me, I think that is enough to just be like, they killed my son.
Yeah. They took us my boy!
So obviously you're going to want revenge on whoever killed your son. But...
I mean, there's been many movies been done like that, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's been many a revenge movie.
Lately.
Lately.
Like John Wick with the cat. Nobody with the bracelet? Or sorry, John Wick with the dog.
Yeah.
And then nobody's supposed to be the cat, but it turns out that all that was stolen was the bracelet. I still
stick by what I say. Nobody is just John Wick for cat people.
Yes, it is. I actually wanted to... I'm not sure if we have time. We have a little bit of time. One thing I wanted to do is compare this movie to Nobody. Get your opinion on that.
Okay. Cool, because it kind of holds the same, like, who is this guy? Like,
okay, so I'm probably right in saying we both liked this movie more than Nobody.
Yes, you're 100% right.
We both didn't really like Nobody.
I didn't...
Compared to... Okay, so here's why...
I want to give Nobody, like, a 6 or something like that. Like, yeah, I give it, like, above average.
So here's why I wanted to compare the two. Because everybody loved Nobody, right? Like, most people... Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people I talked to were like, oh, that movie was, like, amazing. I was like, okay, let's calm down a little here.
But, yeah, not me, and I guess you're kind of the same way. And I was just curious, like, why this movie do you think is better than Nobody?
Well, I can give you like 5 reasons off the top of my head. 1, the cast is better. 2, the writing is better. 3, it's shot better. 4,
yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah, like I can give, the list goes on, right? Like, it's just overall, it's just a better movie. But that also comes with production, right? If the production is better, the audio is better, everything's just better about it. It's shot better.
But here's the thing, Nobody is probably more successful than this movie, right?
Yeah, but I feel like nobody... I mean, you know, I'm not going to hate on anything because, you know, there are people who very much enjoy those movies, but...
Why? We can hate on everything.
Yeah, that's also
true. Go ahead and hate. We pretty much hate on everything in this podcast.
Yeah, that's also true. Well, okay, that's the issue, is that, like, people are too into these fucking, like, the over-the-top action movies.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't need these anymore. It's like, you need a story, you know? For me, it has to be more realistic. This has
a story.
Yeah.
Rather than just one thing, this guy's just,
this is believable.
Yeah.
I could, like, it's not like I could see this happening.
Well, but this has plot changes and
character building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, somebody robbed his house and he's going forward and killing everybody.
That's it. It's like
so they're really kind of like the same movie in a way where somebody killed Jason Statham's son and he's going and killing everybody. But he's doing it differently where he's infiltrating things and they're showing flashbacks to show you what happened and they're showing you all these different people and shit like that.
Yeah.
It changes and it flows like a fucking movie, like a story.
Yeah. Like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't understand what with Nobody... It kind of just like, it's like, what is it? He's like, I don't want to be this guy anymore. Like, and then he just fucks shit up for no reason. And then he's got a problem on his hands. And it's like, why? Like, and you're left to ask yourself, I mean, I know there's people who are just like, I don't know, it's an action movie. Don't look too much into it.
Which is fair.
But you got to ask why.
Yes.
You know, like
you still need those answers in movies.
Yeah. And I get so mad when, like, there is no answers.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't watch the other.
I wanted to mention something I noticed, too, which was like, okay, first of all, I was going to make a joke about how Guy Ritchie in this movie really likes the color gray.
Why? Because everyone's wearing gray.
Everything's gray in this fucking movie.
Maybe everything's a gray area.
Fuck off. So yeah, everything's gray because so it has the gray tint, just generally, and then all the buildings are gray, the trucks are gray, all their clothing are gray.
Maybe that's what reminded me of the town.
Fucking guards' uniforms are gray. When they're out at the fucking bar, they're wearing gray plaid. Everything's fucking gray.
Holy shit!
Now here's the things that come in is like the group that killed his son are posed as construction workers. They're wearing orange vests, and then I noticed throughout the movie we see all these like orange things.
Oh yeah,
constantly. Even in the stylized Bond intro, all the credits are in
orange. Yeah.
While everything else is gray, and then so I don't really know why this orange choice. Maybe he just liked it. But there's like in the warehouse, there's like the sun is making everything orange. There's a lot of like so the only two colors in this movie are orange and gray. But
it's really cool.
I thought it was interesting.
Maybe he decided to do it like that way. Because some people like to do shit like that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I think the most extreme example is Soderbergh's In Traffic.
Oh,
like,
God.
When he's in USA, everything's blue.
Yeah.
When he's in Mexico, everything's sepia.
It's like, so you understand where we are, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like, I get it. Like,
it's cool. That is the most dated thing about the movie.
Or like No Country for Old Men, how they decided to go with just strictly no music. No sound. And like for most people, like when you mention that to them, you're like, there's no sound, like there's no music in that movie, and they're like, no. And I'm like, watch it again.
Cool, yeah.
It's like
that choice.
But it's a very
which is kind of ironic, perhaps, because the Coen brothers are like they put a lot of work and effort into the music.
The music is also one of the big things of the fucking
very important.
It's also like movies like The Big Lebowski and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the music is like,
or especially like Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh
like,
yeah, exactly. Like the music is
folk
key.
artists that they know.
You can even make Burn After Reading the argument with that, right? Like that one also very key on the music, like the dun, 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 like all that, like it adds to the story, right? Like
so. Yeah, I guess it's just another testament to their genius, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Guy Ritchie by no means is a bad director. Has he made bad movies? Fuck yes. You know? Like, he made one, he was married to Madonna, right? And she was like, oh, Ritchie, put me in a movie. She's not British. I don't know why.
What movie was that again?
Oh, fuck. I can't remember.
Yeah.
There was something about them being on an island, but I remember watching it and it was not very good. Like, it was bad. And she's awful.
So, is this movie is it come back to older Guy Ritchie movies? Is he going to do that more? Like he did The Gentleman a few years ago.
The Gentleman, I think, was more along the lines of like a gangster.
But not as good as his older ones.
No. And
better than Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Because I can tell you, I can't remember.
That's a remake as well.
I can't remember a single goddamn thing in that movie.
Because there was a time like years and years ago where I was like, oh, he's just the British Tarantino, like he's that. And then as some other movies started coming out, I was like, no, he's not. I was like, he's just he had a couple of good movies in the beginning.
All right. Anything else you have to say about Wrath of Man?
It was good. I don't know.
Yeah, it was decent. I think we both recommend this movie.
Yeah, and theaters are back. Go check it out. It's a good theater watch. It's
an action movie done well if you're looking for an action movie.
Yeah, and what we'll be doing going forward is as we review them, we'll let you know if it's worth your time and money to go see it, or if you should just fucking stay the fuck away, yeah, because we'll be getting in a theater soon enough, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And I got that AMC stock, so I get free popcorn now, apparently. That's what it said.
You're shitting me.
I don't know. That's what the owner said. He's like, if anyone has stock, it's free
popcorn.
There's no
AMCs anymore.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they exist anymore.
I thought we had one downtown. Oh, not Cineplex.
God, dude, that fucking left so long ago. That they got rid of that in 2009.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. It was in Dundas Square.
Yeah, it's still there. It's not. Oh no, it's not.
It's not.
There's a movie theater there. It's not that.
Yeah,
anymore.
But they added
now.
a movie theater. It didn't go from AMC to Cineplex. They got rid of AMC, and then years later, it became a Cineplex.
Oh yeah. So that's what happened. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
no, I think there's no AMCs, and that's why the stock is a thing, because it's all short stocked, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't exist anymore. So they buy out the short stocks because it's gonna fail. But then all the other people are like, let's actually buy stocks and make it go up to screw over the people that
Shorting.
Yeah, that's what's happening with that. But anyway.
Well, a little financial news for you, too.
We are a financial podcast.
And it's that one where the guy's always yelling, Mad Money. Sell, sell, sell! He's like, and he's got like the hammer. He's like, this is stock.
Are you sure you're not talking about Gremlins 2, where one of the Gremlins like, buy, sell, buy, sell.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
You know what the best part of that movie is when they're in the movie theater, and like, and you can see them on like the screen, and then Hulk Hogan stands up, and he's like, why are these Gremlins ruining my movie? Just moves the shit. And I was like, what is going on?
What are we watching?
Buy, sell, buy.
Buy, sell, buy,
the
sell.
New Batch. Oh man,
The New Batch. Yeah,
I gotta check that out. Fuck, even the original is good too.
Oh, they're both great.
Yeah,
and they're both different movies.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, I'd kill for a third one of those.
Yeah,
that would be fucking.
I think
or
they
at
might
least
have talked about that,
or at least a remake.
That'd be something to look into.
Like I know they remake a lot of movies, and like sometimes they're really
I don't know if a remake of that would work. Like
I think
it's all practical.
It depends who does
and
it.
Stuff, and
if it was practical,
anymore. They won't.
Yeah, it'll be
just
CG.
won't. Yeah,
that's what sucks now, eh?
Yeah,
like you lose the effects. Like even like rewatching certain movies, I'm just like, it's like.
Well, it's like how Army of the Dead, the whole movie was over a green screen, right? It's like,
and it has that feel, right?
Yeah. They have like a couple cars in the lot and some rubble, and then the rest of it's green screen.
Do you think people are gonna forget like about practical movies and stuff? Like they're just gonna be like,
I don't know. I mean, like we're saying, people still like admire it and talk about it. Like people still talk about the practical effects in The Thing, for example, or whatever. So,
or even like the first Men in Black movie, like with all the costumes and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars is a good example.
Star Wars also too. Yeah.
They used to do costumes and practical, and then went all
CG
digital. And now, like with Mandalorian and stuff,
it's a bit of both.
They're doing it's a bit of both, but they're making
more
an effort to make.
I think Favreau. Well, it's because they wanted it to look like the originals. Like,
so
to have that feel.
But so there's that's true. So maybe it's just that. But
I've noticed with a lot of the Disney shows that are coming out now, they're using more practical stuff. Yeah. So maybe they're starting to realize that like.
So I think there is a group of people that want practical, and maybe it's that age. It's like the people from the 80s, which could be not good because then they'll stop making movies, and then the Gen Zers will make movies or whatever. Yeah. And maybe they won't care. I don't know.
Yeah, because CG is just so much cheaper.
But I think like we care because we grew up with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. It's a good question.
I remember. Do you remember when CG was like when you'd see like a movie with like movies would have like bad CG budgets and like you'd just be like, oh, like I'm just trying to think of a good one. Like the early 2000s movies, like when they started like really hammering it in
because they really. I mean, it was the new technology,
and it was
unfortunately we had to sit through it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like now they've just got it, like they've got it, like so it can look.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say it lasts like at least 5 years, but maybe even 10, but
yeah, because that's what prompted Disney to buy Lucas.
For the CG,
Well, because they put out John Carter, and John Carter looked fucking awful. Like it looked so bad, and it cost them. I think it cost them over $100 million.
Yeah, the movie was brutal.
Yeah, but that's when they were like they fired Eisner, and they were like,
you know what a funny thing about that is that I only just realized because I think I was reading about it or watching a video. So shout out to I don't know my source here, but in the beginning of the movie, when they're in the regular world, and I think it's John Carter.
Yeah,
he's in the Civil War or whatever.
Yeah.
He is on the South side.
Wait, what?
He fights for the South.
Oh, so he's racist.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they put that in that new movie.
Well, it's based on a book.
I know it is, but
so maybe in the book he fights for the South.
Yeah, definitely. But like, wouldn't you change that, or at least just take that out?
No, because remember at that same time, Dukes of Hazzards came out with Johnny Knoxville and
not the same time.
Oh, about the same year. It's got to be
Dukes
close.
of Hazzards. You mean with Owen Wilson and?
No, Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott. Whatever, almost is close enough.
No, but he's in the, or is it?
No, you're thinking Starsky and Hutch.
Oh yeah, sorry. What are you saying?
Dukes of Hazzard.
I thought they were the same thing.
No. Both from the 70s. Both shows.
Aren't
both
they
remakes.
the same fucking thing?
No, but like along the same vein.
Sorry,
but Dukes of Hazzards, they kept like the Confederate flag and shit and stuff. They obviously make a joke about it, and they're like, "Oh, sorry," but I'm like, did you really have to? I was like,
Yeah.
we get it. Like, you're racist. Like, you don't have to, like, advertise it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
is
Like,
weird.
we get it. The South is racist. Like, we don't need to. But yeah, you're right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, change it. Fuck. It's a fucking
Or
Disney movie.
just take it out. Like, take that part out.
Well, Disney is
it
racist.
doesn't need to be
though,
in
so,
there.
like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
And the
Yeah.
ghost of Walt Disney is like, he's like, you don't like black people. How do you feel about Jews? Like, kind of thing. Like, we all know how fucked up, like, they are, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
so, like...
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a sour note to end it on. Is there something else you want to say?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, theaters are opening back up. What are you stoked for? There's tons of new stuff coming out. Like, I think. Well, I mean, we're obviously gonna be looking into that Chris Pratt Amazon movie.
I mean, I think the first movie we'll see in theaters is probably Quiet Place 2.
Yeah, I think that's what it'll be. Oh man, once that's And then, ladies and gentlemen, fuck, Dune is so close.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, we're so
excited.
close.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
Awesome. So when movies are in theaters again, Todd and I will be going to theaters together and then coming to talk about it. So that'll probably add a little bit different.
Yeah, and like, but you know what? It'll be better because like,
and we can talk about the theater experience. It's just something we don't in this.
Yeah,
podcast.
Exactly. And
because
the floors were sticky.
Fucking asshole behind me kept talking.
Yeah, it's like when people give shitty reviews on Uber. They're like, the guy behind me was talking loud on his phone. Service was good though. 3 stars. And I'm like, wait, what? That has nothing to do with the restaurant. Like, it was like, you know, have you ever seen that? I hate that.
What does Cineplex call it? There's like a, don't be a Harvey Hug.
Or Sally Texter or Sally.
Because
there's one.
There is Sally something.
There's Sally. There's one where the girl's on her phone. There's one where the guy's texting. And there's one where the guy's holding all the seats a la fucking Seinfeld for everybody. Like, these seats are taken. No, they're taken.
That's Harvey Hogger.
That's a Harvey Hogger, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember who Sally is, but...
Texting Tommy is one of them. Tommy Texter.
Tommy Texter, yeah.
And then...
Yeah, you obviously heard the... Well, I don't know. So the Alamo Theater in, like, Austin is a famous theater where it was, like, the first theater.
A lot of good men died in that theater. Oh no, that was the Batman thing. Oh no,
no, not that place. But it was like one of the first places that you could like get beers and watch the movies. Like this is like years ago. Yeah, and that was the whole idea.
Yeah, which I always said. Remember when they first started bringing?
I know, it's so dumb. Yeah.
When they first started bringing out beers, they were like everyone was sneaking beers in the movie theater anyway.
I know. So it's and also. Yeah, because movie theaters were always complaining about not making money because they only make money off of concession, right? So the natural fucking thing is to have beer there, and that's why they do now.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh shit, this is how we can make money.
That's what saved them, probably. Yeah.
And everyone gets one.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just makes sense. But I was going to say about the Alamo is that, so they're famous for like kicking people out. Like if they see you on your phone or you talk, they'll just kick you out, no questions asked. And that's why it's a dope theater. I actually got to go when I was there, but...
I'll say, what'd you see?
Actually, I saw riff tracks of Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This like comedy group like rips on their favorite movies. It was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so shout out to them. I think they were called like Pancake something. So I'm sorry but that's along the right line. So shout out to them. They're hilarious. But yeah, so they rip on their favorite movies. So they did Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and obviously there's a lot to make fun of in these like, you know, older movies because it's just like, you know, there's funny things in there, and it was great.
So many one-liners.
Yeah, and it was awesome. But anyway, the Alamo always plays at the beginning this recording of a girl that got kicked out and calls on their answering machine. And she's like, I don't know why the fuck I got kicked out. I want my money back, whatever. And they play that before every movie in the Alamo because they're basically like,
yo, don't fuck around.
Yeah, listen, if you talk, we'll kick you out. We don't give a fuck. And it's hilarious.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Because at least you're telling people. I fucking hate that. Remember when you go to movies on cheap nights? And like, sometimes it's funny though. Because like, sometimes if it's a bad movie and it's cheap night, then you get people who are movie theater funny and they'll yell out shit. And like, once in a while you get a couple gems. But like, sometimes it's shit. But
yeah.
No, like, that's why you always got to fear.
Well, no, it's like people talking and, you know, whatever. It's annoying.
Yeah, and it's usually on cheap night though, I find.
The texting. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah, maybe I'll play the Alamo recording for everyone at the end of this, and
That's all ended off.
We'll let the girl from the Alamo take us out.
Take us out, lady.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys actually enjoy treating your customers like pieces of shit, because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy ass theater. It was too fucking dark in that place for me to find my seat, alright? I was using my phone as a flashlight to get to my fucking seat. So excuse me for using my phone in USA, the United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, alright? I texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing on my fucking phone, alright? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys, obviously, were being assholes to me, and I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how shitty you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being assholes on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer.